The U.S. House of Representatives has passed a bill which allows authorities to jail terrorism suspects indefinitely, drawing criticism from human rights groups. The $662 billion bill allows U.S. officials to indefinitely hold alleged suspects without charge in military custody. American citizens can also be jailed indefinitely upon the decision of the U.S. Supreme Court or future presidents. The measure also forbids transfer of Guantanamo Bay detainees to U.S. soil, making it harder to close down the infamous prison. The legislation was passed after the U.S. President Barack Obama dropped his threat to veto it. International rights group Human Rights Watch has said Obama's decision puts him on the wrong side of the history. The Democratic-held Senate is also expected to vote on the bill as early as Thursday. Online columnist Alan Rowland joins me live on the phone from Sonoma. Welcome to the programme. So, Mr. Rowland, keeping people in custody without charge indefinitely, how do you explain this?
It's very scary. And as the American Civil Liberties Union says, this bill is an historic threat to American citizens and others because it expands and makes permanent the authority of the executive or the president to order the military to imprison without charge or trial American citizens. And so the final amendment to preserve the current detention could turn out to be meaningless. And this bill puts military detention authority on steroids and makes it permanent. If it becomes law, which it evidently has now, American citizens and others are at real risk of being locked away by the military without charge or trial. So your real question should be this: what is the administration afraid of? And what my answer is that this is no longer an external threat. They're afraid of an internal threat. The Occupy movement is gaining momentum. They're afraid of the truth. They're afraid of the people armed with the truth and demanding the truth and demanding the change that Obama never provided. This is very serious. Millions of people are upset about this. And get this, there was only 7 senators that voted against it. One of them was Ron, one of them was Paul, and also Ron Paul voted against it in the House of Representatives. So once this law is signed into law, so as the Associated Press put it, the legislation would deny suspected terrorists, even U.S. citizens, seen within the United States borders, the right to trial and subject them to indefinite detention. So we're dealing with fear here. Is very afraid of the people, not an external threat, but an internal threat. And this is basically fortifying the Occupy movement.
Indeed. And of course, Mr. Rowland, the House, besides what you told us, the House has also voted to forbid transfer of Guantanamo Bay detainees to U.S. soil. It seems like the prison will never be shut down despite Obama's promises.
What else is new? Obama is basically not delivered on any of his promises. So this is nothing new. So you've got to look at President Obama. He was never an agent of change. He was always put in office, selected in office by the corporate elite, maintain the status quo. That's what's happening, protecting the corporocracy. So that promise, broken promise, is not news. And the other thing is this: basically, he's losing so many progressives, so many independents, and actually so many true conservatives. His only real base right now is the corporocracy, and that's a very feeble base.
Indeed.
These are scary times.
Indeed. Okay, Mr. Rowland, we'll leave it there for the time being. Alan Rowland, online columnist, joining me live from Sonoma, California. Many thanks for your thoughts there, sir.